Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Hale. I'm the Director of Education Success here at Haven Park Communities, and I manage our academic scholarship program. I wanted to create a quick application walkthrough video to help guide you as you navigate through the application, offer some tips, and just some general advice that will help you make sure that you take full advantage of working through your scholarship application. So first off, again, the scholarship application opens up on December 1st, 2024, and will actually close on February 28th, 2025. So you have a 3-month window to submit this. So on the screen now is from the Haven Park Communities page. I have the education page loaded up. So generally, if you will have landed on this page, it's most likely because you scanned the QR code on one of our flyers, or maybe you just, you visited havenparkcommunities.com, and in the upper right-hand section here, you found the education section. What I would encourage you to do is do a little bit of reading. You can read about J. Anthony Antonelli. He was kind of the visionary and the leader behind our education success program. You'll also find my bio on this page. And then if you just have any just general questions, please feel free. You can submit this form right here and it'll go directly to me and I'll email you back to respond any way I can to help answer any questions. If you hover over the education tab, you'll see there's one for academic scholarships and the Springboard to Success. I'm just going to click on academic scholarships today. You can read a little bit more about our scholarships here. You can take a sneak peek and see some of the images of our most recent scholarship recipients from the prior cycle. And then you can, of course, learn a little bit more just about the application itself, kind of, what we're looking for, who can apply. Just generally, to be eligible, you must be a current resident of a Haven Park community or have a parent or legal guardian who is a resident. You must be a current high school senior or a current undergraduate college student, or someone who's planning to enroll in part-time or full-time study at an accredited school starting in fall 2025. So if you're an adult learner who's maybe thinking about going back, absolutely, you can apply as well too. There's no age requirements at all. We want to be as inclusive as we can. And then a minimum GPA of a 2.0. And that, if you're a high school senior, that would be, your high school record. If you're an adult learner who maybe hasn't gone back in before, this would be your prior high school record. If you're a current college student, this would be the university coursework or college coursework that you've completed to date. You can also see there is the Haven Park Scholarship testimonial video. This is one of our testimonies from one of our recent scholarship recipients last year that just, talk a little bit about how it's impacted her. And then I think what's also really, really helpful here is if you click here for FAQs, you can get a lot of great information about the details of the scholarship, the thing that we're considering, things that we're looking at, just a lot of great questions that will probably answer many of the questions that you have there. So if you're wondering how in the world do I apply, again, once December 1st has hit, 2024, then you can access the application. I'm going to give you a sneak peek today, but you'll see there's a button right here that says click here to apply right below our picture of one of our prior scholarship recipients. You can also access the application directly through here in the FAQ section and the how do I apply. To access the scholarship application, you can click this link here. So there's two different places to access. We're going to go up here to this main button. We'll click on this today. And this will take you to the landing page for our academic scholarship. So essentially, once you're on this landing page, you can read a little bit more here in the description. You can watch that student testimony right here. And again, awards are for undergraduate study only. You can read a little bit more. It should be the same information that you found on that website. But if you find anything that differs, certainly you can let me know. As we're scrolling up and down here, you can, once December 1st hits, you'll be able to actually go on here and create an application. You'll need to create an account with Kaleidoscope. That's the company that manages our scholarship application. You can see here's their logo here. So before you can actually complete an application, you'll need to create an account with Kaleidoscope. So I've already done that. I'm going to show you here today as a sample application. So because this is just in kind of a draft mode, this is what it will look slightly different on my end, but generally, you'll have all these sections to complete. I'm just going to kind of go right from the beginning. So when you create your application for the very first time, it's gonna take you to this page, which just generally says, let's get to know you. So I think what's important to know about this application right off the bat is that you do not need to complete it in one sitting. And I probably wouldn't encourage you to do that. Take your time walking through it. You can save your progress just by clicking this save button and log back in, the next day or in a week or whenever you have time to continue working on it. But this first page is really just basic biographical information, your first name, last name, email address, the one that you check the most, I would encourage you to put in there, your telephone number, your date of birth, your current street address, city address, state, your gender that you identify with, and of course your ethnicity. Moving on to the next page. And this is just general profile information. So as I mentioned here, to be eligible, you have to be a high school senior, current high school senior during this academic year, or you can be a current college university student, or you could be an adult living in the community who's thinking about going back. Again, we unfortunately, graduate students, folks who are pursuing, master's or doctorate or graduate level work are not eligible for this award, but we have it on here just as an identifier for myself. We also have high school student grades 9 through 11 on here just as an identifier, but the only folks who are going to be eligible basically are folks who kind of meet these three right here. High school senior, a high school graduate, not currently enrolled, or post-secondary university student. So once you click on that, you're going to put your self-declared cumulative GPA. And again, cumulative just means your total grade point average on a 4.0 scale. Again, if you're a high school senior and most likely you have your GPA up into this point, might just be your first 3 years of high school coursework. If you're applying in January, February, you might have your 7th semester transcript available. You can put that updated GPA on there. And essentially this is just kind of that self-declared. You'll upload a copy of your transcript later on. Your GPA type. So again, if you're a high school student, you put high school. If you're a college or post-secondary student, you would put that there. And then, of course, are you a first-generation student? Now, we define this as a first-generation student means that means your parents did not complete a 4-year degree or a university degree, regardless of any other family member's level of education. So if you had a sibling maybe who went and completed a 4-year degree, you would still technically qualify as a first-generation student. It really comes down to your parents, and this means completed in the United States. This is just for internal purposes only. And then, of course, are you under the age of 18? You'll click yes or no, depending. We're going to move on to the next page. Okay. Sorry about that. Good times. Okay, here we go. Hold on just one moment. I'm going to go in through this application here. And let's go back to additional. Okay, so this would be the next page that you would click on. Are you a parent, legal? Are you or are your parent or legal guardian a resident of a Haven Park community? So if you are, you would click yes. If you're not, but maybe your parent or legal guardian is, you would click yes as well too. So it'd say, who is the name on the Haven Parks community lease? So if it's your parent that you're living with, most likely, or your legal guardian, you put your parent's name on here. If it's you, if you're an adult living in the community, then you would just say myself if it's you, or if it's something other, an additional situation, you could put that on there. Please list the full name of that individual that is the primary person on the lease. And certainly we do check that information as well. The member location state, so what state do you live in? Which Haven Park community that you live in? They're all in alphabetical order. So you'll select your community on there. And then how did you hear about the scholarship? Again, was it through, Haven Park Community's communication, a friend or mentor, maybe someone else who received a scholarship before? Was it your counselor or teacher? Was it the Haven Park Community Manager? Springboard to Success Club, social media? Just as an indicator. Would you like to receive additional guidance and information from myself, the Director of Education Success, regarding other financial support opportunities? Completely optional, but if you click yes, this just means I'll probably reach out to you to say, how else can I help you find additional funding opportunities? And let me help you see if I can navigate that for you. And then also, are you a Haven Park employee? Unfortunately, Haven Park employees are not eligible for this Haven Park Academic Scholarship. They have a separate scholarship application and process for themselves in a separate timeline. So are you a Haven Park employee? You'll click no. If any of your family employed by Haven Park Communities, you click no. And then did you apply for the Haven Park Scholarship last year? If you applied in any prior years, go ahead and click yes on that. If you did not, this is your first time, you'll click no. high school information. So you'll put the name of your prior high school, the city, the state where it was located, name the high school. You'll put your high school graduation or the date that you completed your GED, just month and year estimate. And if you have taken the SAT or ACT, these are not required, but certainly, if you've taken those examinations and you want to submit those test scores, that's great. And it's just self-reporting. You don't need to submit those official test scores. So certainly if you feel good about those scores and you want to, add those, you're more than welcome to. They'll be taken into consideration. Post-secondary school information. So I think what's important to know is that, we certainly understand if you're a high school senior this year, or maybe you're a current college student, or maybe you're an adult learner who's thinking about going back, that, your college enrollment plans might change from now until fall of 2025. So what you want to put on here is kind of the most likely institution that you might actually enroll in. So if that's a 2-year or 4-year vocational trade institution, put that institution here. If you end up being an awardee, certainly we'll have you complete an acceptance form in the spring. You'll update that information at that time. And then certainly, we'll make sure that when we send out those scholarship checks in the summer, that it's actually at the institution that you plan to enroll at. So at this time, you'll put the institution that you're most likely to enroll at in the fall of 2025. So you put the name of the institution, the city, the state where it's located, the college type, whether it's a 4-year college university, a 2-year community college, or a vocational technical school, or another institution, you'll put that there. Enrollment status. So in the fall of 2025, do you plan to be a full-time student, meaning someone who's enrolled in 12 credits or more each semester, a part-time student between 6 and 11 credits semester? And then you'll put your anticipated or expected college graduation date and month. And again, this is just from your college, your post-secondary institution. What year do you think you might finish up at that institution? If you're a high school senior, most likely it's going to be 4 years out. If you're, a community college student, it might be 2 years out from the date that you're actually applying for the scholarship. And then what degree are you hoping to seek? Is it a bachelor's degree? Is it an associate degree? Is it a certificate? Something other? And then if other, you specify in this box here. And then, of course, put your major or your course of study. And certainly we understand that, you might not necessarily know exactly what that's going to be, but if you have an idea, go ahead and put that there. Have you already completed the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, for the 2025-2026 year? And again, currently we're in the 2024-2025 academic year. So this is again for next fall. This new FAFSA is released on December 1st, the official release date, December 1st, 2024. So that's when you're able to go ahead and start completing the FAFSA. And I would certainly encourage you to do that as soon as you're able to. But if you complete that document, certainly you'll put yes on there. Please list any scholarships and their award totals that you will be receiving during the 2025-2026 academic year. So if you know already, if you're a high school student and maybe you qualified for a local scholarship, or if you're a current college or university student and you have an annual scholarship that you receive, you'll indicate that here. After scholarships and financial aid, what do you anticipate your out-of-pocket education expenses will be for the 2025-2026 academic year? So this is just kind of ballparking it. After any financial aid that you anticipate, federal, state, any institutional scholarships that you think you might end up receiving, what do you think, out of pocket that you and your family are going to have to pay for that academic year? And then do you plan to live on campus at that college or university residence hall during that 2025-2026 academic year? Here's where you can put down any work experience. So I put one already just as a sample. So you can go in here and you would essentially put the name of your employer, your position, when you started, if you still work there, or if you do not, you'd enter a date there, the number of hours that you work per week, and then you can put description of your responsibilities there. So you can put a number of these as you would like, certainly, and keep on populating that and creating those work experiences that you may have had. Similarly, for any activities, awards, and honors that you received, you can go in here and add these as well. So you can see I put a sample of baseball. Let's say you played baseball in high school, you identify that as an activity, and then the years that you participated in, any leadership positions, any awards that you received, same thing with award or honors that maybe you received. You would want to go in and create new entries for anything that would be an activity while you participated in high school or in college, or outside of that, maybe in your church, community, anything that you would like us to just know about you and the ways that maybe you have spent your time outside of the academic setting. Essays. So this may be one of the most important parts of the application. You can see here we have a few bits of advice. Respect, grit, collaboration, stewardship, and boldness make up our core values here at Haven Park Communities. So in the essay section below, we want to get to know you and kind of what you value. So it says here, please take your time and respond thoughtfully. So I can't stress this enough. We really want to get to know you, and your essay is really kind of your one chance in the application to have a voice and to tell us a little bit about yourself. So you can see the questions here. How have you served others and or given back to your community? So this could be your local, your Haven Park community that you live in. This could be your school. This could be the city, town that you live in. This could be your church community, whatever community that you identify with. What are some ways that maybe you've given back? Or maybe some ways to give back. In addition, the second essay question is describe any challenge or obstacle that you faced and how you overcame it. So, this can take a lot of different forms and however you want to interpret that. So what I would just encourage you to do is please be thoughtful, take your time. And here's a prime example of why you don't want to sit down most likely and complete your application in one setting. Maybe write these in a Word doc and then copy and paste them in here later on whenever you're ready. You'll upload an unofficial or official transcript. You can choose either or to actually complete here. You'll click the upload file and upload that. And again, you can use a screenshot from your computer, from your student portal, your high school portal, your college, university portal, or your institution's portal. Or you can, have that official transcript. Either one works. ACT or SAT scores, if you're providing ACT or SAT scores and those are not listed on your high school transcript, you can upload a copy of those here. So again, ACT or SAT scores are completely optional, but we do ask you to upload an official or unofficial transcript, most recent transcript. So again, if you're a high school senior, you'll upload the most recent transcript that you have. If you're a current college university student, you would upload that most recent transcript. And if you're an adult learner who has not attended a college or university before, you would upload your high school transcript from whatever that time that you attended that institution. Recommenders. So recommendation letters are also completely optional, but we always want folks to have great things to say about us, right? And sometimes recommenders, while those folks can be teachers, they could be school counselors, they could be coaches that you've had, they could be folks within your faith, in your church, your local community, your employer, your supervisor, your community manager in your community. There's a number of folks that you could actually tap into to service your community. They're not recommended, but usually they provide us with a lot of great insight of your academic abilities, your personality, and just they overall help your application. So you would go to add contributor. You would essentially just go on here and put their first name, last name, their email address, put their email address again just to make sure. And then you could just say, thank you so much for writing a letter of recommendation for me. They'll receive an email where they can actually go in and just upload their letter of recommendation. I believe there's also a Likert scale too. So if they don't want to upload a formal letter of recommendation, they can just kind of score you on a scale of 1 to 10 in different categories in your academic ability and whatnot. So certainly I highly encourage you to seek out that letter of recommendation. And at the very end, you're going to sign your document right here, and you'll save that document. And then essentially, when you're all done, you can go back in and review any of these sections that you completed. You can print out a copy for yourself if you like. The most important thing is that you want to hit the submit button, and that's the formal submission that we receive here at Haven Park. So as I mentioned, the application period is open from December 1st, 2024 through February 28th, 2025. So you have a 3-month window. You can submit your application anytime during that point. After that period, the application closes, and then application review takes part on our end in the month of March 2025. And then we get back with all folks who applied in early April 2025 and notify those folks who will be receiving that award. So again, I'm going to stop sharing screen. Thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me again. My name is Dr. Jason Hale. You can email me at jhale@havenparkmgmt.com. As you saw, the form is also right there on our main education website, you can always reach out that way too. But don't ever hesitate. Don't ever feel like you're bothering me. My whole background has been working in higher education, college admissions on the high school side also as a college counselor. So I want to make sure that if you have questions as you're working through this of, do I qualify for this scholarship? Am I eligible to be considered? I'm not sure how to get this document, whatever that might be. Don't ever reach out, or don't ever hesitate to reach out if you got questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and take care of yourself.